Welcome back, uplifting life partners, to Marriage Mastery Simplified, cultivating extraordinary connections, the podcast dedicated to helping you build a stronger, more joyful, and resilient marriage. I'm your host, Ron Simplified Myers. Let's ignite possibilities together. Well, this is our Self-Love Wednesday episode, and today we're diving into something that's a topic that's incredibly close to my heart. Owning your story, accepting all parts of your journey, both the triumphs and the challenges. This is about accepting not just the highlight reel, but also the messy and sometimes painful moments. And those that know me know I'm always saying it's all about the stories. All right, you know, in our social media driven world, it's so easy to fall into the trap of only showcasing our triumphs. We post the perfect vacation photos, the career promotions, the exciting family moments. And while there's absolutely nothing wrong with celebrating success, it creates an illusion, doesn't it? An illusion that everyone else's life is perfect and ours, with all its bumps and bruises, is somehow less than. So today, we're going to dismantle that illusion. We're going to talk about the power, the freedom, and the self-love that comes from truly owning your entire story. The good, the bad, and sometimes ugly. So why is this so important? Why does owning your story matter? Why bother digging into the less comfortable parts of our past? Well, first, authenticity is your superpower. When you deny parts of your story, you're essentially denying parts of yourself. And this can manifest as anxiety, self-doubt, or a constant feeling that you're not truly seen or understood. When you embrace your whole story, you step into your full authentic power. People connect with realness, not perfection. Second, growth happens in the struggle. Think about it. When have you learned the most about yourself? Was it during an easy breezy period of time, or during a time of significant challenge? It's usually the latter, right? See, our struggles are often our greatest teachers. They forge resilience, deepen our empathy, and reveal strengths we never knew we had. By rejecting these moments, we reject the very lessons that shaped us. As Tony Robbins says, when people succeed, they tend to party. But when they fail, they tend to ponder. These pondering moments is when we have to go deep inside and we start searching for answers. And this searching is why we usually gain more insights and potential lessons if we take them. Third, it fosters self-compassion. We are often our own harshest critics. We beat ourselves up over mistakes, regret past choices, and wish we could erase certain experiences. But what if we could look at those moments with kindness and understanding? What if we could recognize that at the time we were doing the best we could with what we knew? Owning your story is about extending grace to your past self. So let's break down the components of what we mean by your story. It's not just a collection of events. It's a bunch of different things. Your triumphs. These are your successes, your proud moments, the times you overcame obstacles and achieved something significant. Celebrate these. Acknowledge your hard work and your victories, your challenges and failures. These are the setbacks, the mistakes, the time you stumbled or things didn't go as planned. These are often the most difficult to accept, but they are crucial. Now, while I'm on this topic about the challenges and failures, I want to share a thought that I've shared with many, and I want you to think about it for a second. What if you could obtain everything in your life that you desire at the snap of a finger? You want a home, boom, it's there. You want a car, boom, it's there. You want a new partner, boom, they're there. If you think about it, you would never be satisfied. Nothing would have any value. Why? Because you didn't earn it. If we are honest with ourselves, the feeling of earning and paying for your own car is a more satisfying feeling than someone giving it to you. I know. There's many that are saying, well, I still prefer to be given. You only believe that because you don't believe that you can obtain it on your own. And if you don't believe what I'm saying to be true, talk to people that have all the external things that the world says will make you happy. And you'll be surprised that most of them are unhappy. I didn't say a few, I said most. The journey to achieving is what the human experience is all about. So let's continue with the breakdown of the components of your story. We mentioned the triumphs, the challenges, and failures. Now let's include your relationships. The people who have shaped your life, your family, your friends, your mentors, your partners, both the positive and the challenging dynamics have contributed to who you are. Your identity, your beliefs, your values, your personality traits, both the ones you love and the ones you'd like to improve. Your emotions, the full spectrum, joy, sadness, anger, fear, excitement, grief. All of these experiences contribute to your human experience. Think about this. Without sadness, how would you know you're even happy? Now that we are aware of the components of your story, what are some practical steps to owning your story? How do we actually do this? How do we move from intellectual understanding to genuinely acceptance? Here are a few practical steps you can start taking today. Number one, acknowledge and name it. The first step is to simply acknowledge the parts of your story you might be resisting. This could be a past relationship, a career setback, a family dynamic, or even a personal struggle. Instead of pushing it away, name it. I had a challenging experience with X. Made a mistake in Y situation. See, this isn't about dwelling, it's about acknowledging reality. Number two, journaling as a tool, and we've talked about this before. If you need to, grab a pen and paper or open a document on your computer. Write freely about the moments you find difficult to accept. Don't censor yourself. Explore the emotions, the lessons learned, and how that experience shaped you. Sometimes just getting it out on paper can be incredibly cleansing. Number three, reframe the narrative. Once you've acknowledged a challenging event, try to reframe it. Instead of, I failed at X, can you say, I learned a valuable lesson about Y during X? Instead of, that relationship was a disaster, can you say, that relationship taught me what I truly need and deserve? This isn't about sugarcoating. It's about finding the growth within the pain. Now, I get this question all the time when someone says, I love him. And how do I get over him? The understanding that must take place is, and I have shared this statement with many, I don't have a problem with you loving him. My challenge is that you don't love you enough. That's a reframe. If you truly love you, you would never be with someone that doesn't value you, and making this new reality true for you will create a shift in how you feel about him. This change is what will allow you to shift and be able to move on from him. Now, I'm not saying forget and talk badly about him, but you have to realize there's a reason you're not with him, and settling is not in the cards. Another example, I had a young lady that told me, what if you know he's the one? I asked her, has he picked you? Her mouth dropped open because that reframe was an eye-opener for her. For many, that seems obvious, but we're all good at seeing other people's issues and can't recognize our own. Because he doesn't even flirt with her, I know that might sound harsh and anything can happen over time, but at the moment, she needs to continue to become the best version of herself. Number four, practice self-compassion. Talk to yourself as you would a dear friend. If your friend came to you with a similar story, would you judge them harshly? Or would you offer understanding and support? Now, for some of you, you would be harsh. That means this section is extremely important for your growth. For many, we need to learn to extend grace and understanding for ourselves, and then you can extend that same kindness to others. Remind yourself that you're human, you're doing your best, and you're worthy of love and acceptance, flaws and all. Number 5, share your story when you're ready. This is a powerful step, but it's one to take when you feel ready and with people you trust. Sharing parts of your vulnerable story can be incredibly liberating and can create deeper connections with others. It also helps to normalize struggles and let others know they're not alone. Number 6, seek support if needed. If you're struggling with past traumas or deeply painful experiences, please consider seeking professional support from a therapist or counselor. They can provide a safe space and tools to help you process and integrate these parts of your story. There is no shame in seeking support. To all my uplifting men, this point needs to be repeated. There is no shame in getting support. If the guys around you try to discourage you because men don't seek help, we fight through it. I'm recommending very strongly that you get help and recognize those people are unhealthy and you need to evaluate that relationship. I do not want to hear another story about a man or woman taking their life because of that bad advice of not seeking help. This is not about pleasing others. This is about accepting strengths and weaknesses and knowing the difference and making decisions that benefit your growth and emotional stability. Okay, let's take a huge step into the freedom of full acceptance. Not partial, but full acceptance. Imagine the weight lifted when you no longer have to pretend, when you no longer have to hide, when you no longer have to be ashamed of any part of who you are or where you've been. That's the freedom that comes with owning your story. It's not about condoning harmful actions or ignoring the need for personal growth. It's about recognizing that every experience, every choice, every challenge has contributed to the incredibly unique and resilient person you are today. When you own your story, you become more resilient. You know you can navigate difficult times because you've done it before. More empathetic. You understand that everyone has their own struggles. More confident. You're not easily swayed by external opinions because your self-worth comes from within. More peaceful. The internal battle of resisting parts of yourself finally ceases. So this brings me to a time that I was at an event and the question was asked, if you could be anyone for a day, who would that be? My response was quick and without hesitation. Raised my hand and I said I would be Ronald Myers. The question was thrown at me again. No, if you could be anyone else, who would that be? Again, without hesitation. There's no person that has ever existed that I would want to be for 5 seconds, let alone a day. I love me too much, and I only want to run one person's race, and that is mine, the one I came here to run. Now, I share this story because too many people see other people's lives from the outside and think they got to where they are without any scarring. Well, everyone has to go through battles. We just have different paths. The key is to win your battles. And you can have the life that you see others have and without having to be them. You can get there by being the best you and not comparing. Your story is yours alone. No one else has walked your exact path. And every twist, every turn, every peak, every valley has shaped you into the incredible individual sitting here listening today. Embrace it all. Celebrate it all. Own it all. Now, I hope this episode has given you some valuable insights and actionable steps to begin or continue your journey of self acceptance. And I'd actually love to hear your thoughts on this particular episode. What part of your story are you learning to embrace? Share your reflections with me on social media using the hashtag Owning Your Story Podcast or visiting my website at simplifieduplifters.net. Remember, you are enough, exactly as you are, with your entire beautifully complex story. I want to thank you for joining me today on Marriage Mastery Simplified, Cultivating Extraordinary Connections. We'll be back next week for another Self-Love Wednesday episode. And until then, keep building, keep loving, and keep mastering your marriage one intentional step at a time. For more exclusive training, deeper dives, behind the scenes content, our books, video series, and the Simplified Uplifters Apparel, which is our online clothing store, make sure you download the Simplified You app today. It's your one-stop shop for all our resources. Inside the Google Play or the Apple Store, it can be found again as Simplified You. The U stands for Uplifters. And again, is the letter U. Or you can use the website, simplifieduplifters.net, which is a duplication of the app. And again, that is simplifieduplifters.net. We would also appreciate you sharing this episode in the podcast itself with those that you know need to hear it. And I want to thank you again for joining me on this transformative Self-Love Wednesday. And until we reconnect, be kind to yourself, embrace your journey, and celebrate the incredible, authentic person you are. Most important, remember your power. You are extraordinary.